this one is talking about kidnapping. The federal government has warned Nigerians against crowdfunding ransom. The federal government has warned Nigerians against payment of ransom to kidnappers and bandits. Also, they warned relatives of kidnapped victims against engaging in crowdfunding and paying ransom to kidnappers. Ministry of Defense Muhammadu Babaru, who gave the warning at a press briefing after the Federal Executive Council in Abuja on Wednesday, said the payment would only embolden the corporate to demand more, thereby jeopardizing public safety. Badaru also said that the president has directed security agencies to intensify efforts in flushing out the perpetrators of criminal acts in the society. He also spoke on the havoc being done by rampaging terrorists and kidnappers across the country, especially the nation's capital, Abuja. Admitted that the kidnapping was very high, and it is very high within the FCT Area Council. It stated that the president has given a marching order and, of course, all support are deck, and that the security agencies need to put an end to this. Now, reacting to the issues of crowdfunding to pay ransom, Badaru said there is an existing law that prohibits the payment of ransom to kidnappers. This is, I would say, a very, very sensitive but very important issue. Mr. Degbero, now, imagine a family whereby they need to save their people. How possible is it that they need to sit back and allow the federal government to take it up? Because a lot of people still talk about the last one that happened, the family of 5, where a whole lot of drama came in and everything, and the federal government were kind of delaying, and a lot of people were reacting to that. Now, is it possible for people to actually go by that, knowing that this is their blood that is being kidnapped and put to ransom and could be killed even after delivering the money? And right now they are saying there is a law to that. So what's your reaction to this? Could this work out, or can the federal government do better by actually stopping this kidnapping thing, you know, that's on rampage now?
Former governor of Jigawa State, Muhammadu Abubakar Badaru, is just playing to the gallery. The question we're supposed to ask him is that his sons or his family, has he been kidnapped before? Because if you are in danger, if one of the things in Nigerian constitution is this, that the fundamentals of every government is the welfareism of Nigerians and also security of lives and property.
Yes.
If the government, what government support is supposed to put first is the one is putting last. If the security operatives and the government of the day safeguard every Nigerian not to be kidnapped, will it be any opportunity for kidnapper to kidnap? So if my family members were kidnapped and they have to raise money, they can go to any length to raise money. So if you say you want to pay, you prohibit people from doing crowdfunding, when you did not safeguard the lives and property of the people, what you're supposed to say is, you will see people that will go to church, they will go to mosques because they want to raise money to save their loved ones. If you can get those people in captivity without paying ransom, good. But if you cannot do that, they can't wait for you. As we are talking about chibok girls, we see how some of them in captivity, we don't even know where they are.
Yes.
We don't even know where they are. Dapchi girls, is it all of them that are returned? Do you know the number? Do you know the trauma? I have been kidnapped once, so it's within 24 hours, and I know the psychology that goes with it. When your loved ones don't know where you are, what you are even doing, what they are doing to you, when you have to sleep with the guns, where you have to be in the thick forest, where you have to walk about 10, 5, 15 kilometers. Because you are going to take it from one point to the other.
Barefooted, especially.
That kind of thinking. But one thing there is this: Yoruba will say anything or come. Lo mandu come. That means somebody that things does not affect. The way they are going to react is going to be different. So what the minister is saying, he's just saying because he has never been affected. What is important is that let government do the needful. Let the lives and property of Nigerians be safe. Let us be well secured. If that one is done, if any of my loved ones were being kidnapped, and I know government is going to be on top of the situation, get the person back, why did I have to pay ransom?
Of course. There's no need for that. I would like to hear a reaction if I ask another question.
You know, it's a delicate issue.
Yes.
Honestly, like you said so when you were starting. This is delicate, and there has to be some sort of balance.
Of course.
So the government is clearly failing in this issue of security. It's completely out of control. So now you have different types of insecurity all over the country, and then this kidnapping one is assuming a new dimension. Can you imagine that a good percentage of these kidnaps is now happening in Abuja.
The seat of
power, where the federal government is. Hey, if you think about that and the implication of that, we're in trouble. Because that's where the chief of defense staff,
head of everything,
all the security apparatus, they're there. So, and yet these guys have the guts, the effrontery, to go into private estates, well-secured estates, and kidnap people in Abuja. Then there is a big problem in this country. The government is clearly failing. This thing is out of control. So the government has to buckle up. We have to become serious about the issue of governance. You know what is going on is corruption that is killing us. Because the things that need to be done, you need will, you need sincerity of purpose, you need money. You know, the three things are not available because the people in leadership are compromised. So they are unable to do the things they need to do. So that's on the one hand. Government is failing to secure people. And therefore, like he said, you know, God forbid, if one's family is in captivity, are you going to say, oh, let's wait for government first, or whatever? No, you won't. You know, so you will do whatever you can to save your family member. The challenge, and this is the balance side of it now, is that if a former minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, you know, therefore a privileged member of society who is still working in the corridors of power, is leading a crowdfunding effort to pay kidnappers, that's problem. That's there is big problem, you know, because this kind of person, because of his profile as he should, you know, you can do these things, but you can't do it in the public eye. You cannot come out openly and boldly to say we're raising money for kidnappers. Ransom money should never be paid. That must continuously be the policy of any government. You cannot pay ransom, because once you do, and they see that the government is amenable to payment of ransom, so much so that a former official is helping to raise money. They are telling everybody that kidnapping is a business.
Of course.
And therefore all of us should go in. So the official position, that's why you hear till tomorrow. You can never hear a police official say ransom was paid. They will say the victims were released. They will say they were rescued. They will never admit that ransom was paid. Because you can't. The moment you admit it, you are encouraging others to come into the trade. You know, so I think that's important. Whatever needs to be done to save people's lives. Imagine the unfortunate loss of life of this parents that just lost daughters, just like that. You know, God have mercy on us. I don't even want to put myself in the shoes of that person. You know, to know what horror they must be feeling right now. So we understand all of that, but we cannot elevate kidnapping to become a business that we're now raising money to source, as if we're funding a startup IT company program or something. You know, so and I think that is the challenge now. So we have to call for caution. Let government do its job. To stop all of this is very simple. Just one or two technologies here and there, CCTV camera, drones, proper security patrol, proper funding of the police. I know that some of these things will abate. You know, so I think that's the issue. But we have to be careful. We shouldn't promote the payment of ransom and make it something that we can just talk about anyhow. It's
okay,
dangerous.
which brings me to the question is a lot of people will probably be hoping that once they cry for help, social media or anyway, just for people to know that, oh, my family or my social person has been kidnapped, they expect the federal government to step in and do what is right? Okay, yeah. And probably the federal government is delaying, or the government is delaying, and they decide to do that. Do you think that is what is, you know, pushing more of this kidnapping outside?
Look,
like it's happening more.
We have failed from the beginning. Anybody that wants to involve in kidnapping and he knows he's going to be arrested at the end of the day, no matter what he does, a lot of people are going to just run back. They can do another act of stealing, but not kidnapping. But in situation they know that if you plan yourself very, very well, they know the strength of our security operatives, they know what they can do. Come, if in your neighborhood somebody is arrested by the police, whatever that person has done, they just come and they pick the person. What did you think the family member of those people are going to be doing? The first thing they are going to be doing, they are going to be looking for money before they visit the police station. What is different? Is it not the same crowdfunding? What is important is that yes, now it's the same thing. It's just that another angle. Come on board on the social media for it. What is important here is this: let our security operative do something. If we are secured, and I know police or any security operative, they are going to secure the release of my loved one being kidnapped. Why did I have to waste money? When I know I can get something for free, why did I have to go and raise money to get that thing? If I should do them a native, what is important here is this: The minister of state for security, for defense, Muhammadu Badaru, former governor of Jigawa State, he and his elder brother, Muhammadu Matawale, they should do the needful. Call those security operatives, let them be on top of the situation. Then also, we have relegated Nigerian police to the back. If you want to go and find Boko Haram, it's the soldiers that are going to. What of Nigerian police? They have mobile police. What are they using them for? It is the high time that we need to fund police very well, give them all the high level of equipment. We cannot be fighting all these kidnappers with all this to a gun that we have. Give them what they really need. Give them morals. I can tell you, Nigerian police officers, they can do more than they are doing, but our politicians did not give them the required equipment they need. If they can do that, I'm telling you, who are these kidnappers? Police cannot face them. But the problem there is that we used to send police on Ishe de Toru. You know the kind of journey you send someone that you know that person will not succeed with the equipment you give that person. So and that is the problem.
What's your final take on this because of our time?
Well, I mean, look, the major thing is that we need to get our act together. Right now, there's fire on the mountain in this country. That's just the main thing, you know. There's a crisis in the economy. There's a crisis in security. I mean, then what's left? Because without a secure society, you cannot grow your economy. So now there is no security. Everybody is under, fear, living in fear, and then the economy itself is in shambles. So really, what all of this is saying is that whatever we're doing as a society is not working. Our president needs to sit up. I have said this time and again, we cannot run this country by business as usual because things are no longer usual. So the things that politicians have done, whatever it is that we've done from 1999, let's leave the rest, all the other republics, whatever it is that we've done from 1999 till today has not worked. It is very obvious. Things have deteriorated in all sectors. Power, imagine power supply being as catastrophic as it is today, where you are still struggling with transmission of 5,000 megawatts, and out of that 5,000, we can only distribute about 4,000, sometimes 3,000 megawatts. It is a shame. Since 1999, how is it that we cannot make progress in any of these indicators? So these are the real issues. Ransom, people will do whatever they need to do to save their loved ones. They will crowdfund on social media, they will do it. They will do it. You cannot tell them not to. Nobody can form a legislation or issue a policy statement that says you cannot crowdfund. Well, are you kidding me?
But they said there's a law to that.
There must be something we have to do. I have to watch my words because this is very painful. Because somebody has lost 3 children.
And you can't protect me, and you want me not to do crowdfunding.
So I don't support open funding for ransom. You can't stop it. If the government is failing, then people must
stand up for themselves.
Resort to self-help. It's inevitable because there is no vacuum in nature. So I think that we need, as a country, as a people, everybody listening to me now should understand that we're in trouble. We're in trouble as a country. What is happening in this country is not normal. So all of this, that's why when I listen to a senator saying they move CBN to Lagos, these guys okay?
Out of all our problems,
these guys okay? Is this all you can see in all of this one that we're saying? Even they themselves are not safe. Is it because they are going around with patrol?
None of them can go to their villages.
My brother, let me tell you where we're headed. There are countries in South America today. It is the ministers and the justices that they kidnap. They don't kidnap ordinary people anymore. It looks as if we're headed in that direction because they are now in Abuja. They're operating in Abuja openly.
Go to estate, pick people out.
They'll pick people from estate. So what is to say that these guys will not begin to arm themselves with high caliber ballistic weapons that can get through your bulletproof? There are ways of undermining a bulletproof vehicle and you stop the person. How many escorts can you carry? If you are confronted with an armed gang, heavily armed, of 20, with you and your 4 police.
That is why we are telling them to do something now.
So the country is headed in that direction. Our political leadership should not think that they are safe. They are living in their various protected places. They have police around them and they think that they're okay. They're now talking anyhow to citizens that are suffering. You say don't raise ransom money. You better face the problem because Mokamokani is coming.
It might come to their doorstep. Whew, wow, this is very deep. Anyways, like you said, the people cannot just sit down, watch their loved ones, being kidnapped. But it's not something that we have to say outside there, which still brings us to the facts whereby we are pleading to the president to really take up this issue because the citizens are suffering. It might get to the doorstep of our leaders very soon. And like you said, the bulletproof car and your 433 policemen, at that point they won't be able to do anything. So it's now is the time to start fighting. Tackle it now, because they are out there. And if we look at it, if we look as far back as maybe 6 to 10 years ago, it was not this much. It was not this rampant.
Yes.
But you see, as the time goes by, they are getting more strength and they are coming out big every time. And sometimes I even believe that we have some political backing to this thing, because how can we have this always growing and getting worse and still nothing can be done?
That's why the president needs to do something.
So we are pleading on the president, please do something.